In our 78th season, the Palm Beach Civic Association brings you Palm Beach TV, the island's only newscast. We're sponsored by the Fortin Foundation of Florida. Our mission is to inform town residents about the unique challenges of island life and to highlight the actions and achievements of our leaders and the dynamic people who live here. Now the news.
Hi, I'm Wendy Rutledge, and this is Palm Beach TV, a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association, coming to you from the beautiful Breakers Hotel where we hosted our holiday event. What we want to bring you, though, now is the news of the week. And your town council has been very busy this December, kind of wrapping things up, all the big issues of the year, and making some decisions that just might affect your daily life. So you're going to want to pay attention for that. Also, if you happen to miss our big event with speaker, billionaire investor Ken Griffin, well, we're going to bring you some highlights, which might give you a little insight into 2022. First, though, the council.
You're starting at a relook at these issues at what I think is a very pivotal time for our town.
Palm Beach Town Council members were solidly in support of the new 9-member Strategic Planning Board appointed by Mayor Moore, whose task will be to create the vision for the future of the island. This new board will be looking at how to keep Palm Beach, as we like to say at the Civic Association, in the face of an onslaught of growth.
Our town is really at kind of an inflection point. Things were going along a certain way up till about 2 years ago. And then we were hit with a tremendous amount of growth. And a lot of the assumptions we had about the town including its demographic, including how busy we are, and a whole host of things have changed.
But keeping in mind that we don't want to change and become like other places. We're unique, we're beautiful, we're a place that is so very special. And I feel like what you're being brought on to do is to maintain the beauty, charm, and specialness of our town.
Full details of who was appointed and their backgrounds can be found in William Kelly's Our Town article posted on our website. Needless to say,
this is one impressive group of people who will lead with you, Mayor, through this process.
We're fortunate to live in a community with so many brilliant people. So putting together a list, you have had a good problem on your hands where we have a lot of people really invested in our community.
There is a place for each and every resident or community leader in this process. The best possible product at the end will be because of community engagement in the process.
On to more great news. Phase 5 of the decade-long undergrounding project, which was the home to a dozen or more of those ugly chicanes used for power boxes, is now rid of them all.
We started out with 13 chicanes and we're down to 0. So, I'm amazed by that, but I'm pretty happy about it.
The elimination of the unsightly chicanes is due to the success of engineer Strayer and her department in helping to secure permission from residents to hide the power boxes in discreet spots on their property. Other council action, a new Get Tough policy in the works for construction crews who violate town rules for work hours. Town code enforcement has been issuing fines, which don't seem to be working as a deterrent. So council may invoke a 3 strikes you're out policy come the first of the year.
As you may know, many of the contractors really don't care about the fines. It's just a cost of doing business. But what really scares them and really motivates them is the fact that their job could be shut down.
Finally, one last piece of good news. The Shore Protection Board annual report indicates that all of that sand renourishment over the past couple of years has left the island's beaches in great shape.
But I believe the best things that we have done is obviously the beach renourishment and how healthy our beaches are because of it.
It seems that most of us would probably love to look into a crystal ball and see what's exactly coming in 2022, particularly when it comes to our finances. Well, if you happen to be one of the lucky ones and attend our event that featured billionaire investor Ken Griffin, you probably got the second best thing. Here, though, are some highlights.
In 5 days, we took a hotel and we turned it into a modern trading floor. There were 200 people that made this happen. We literally had to pull a truck up to the side of the building to get enough power to power the several thousand servers that were here on site.
Ken Griffin entertained the packed room of Civic Association members at the Four Seasons with his tale about how a contingent of his traders took over this very same hotel for about 6 months during early COVID, so his massive Chicago-based investment firm could continue its monumental volume of business.
We're responsible for about 1 in 4 trades that happen in America every day, and we open about half the stocks on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange every day. So as my son put it, the Four Seasons Palm Beach became the South Florida Stock Exchange.
Griffin, whose Citadel company's full reach includes 300,000 associates all over the globe, did sound a warning bell about fading U.S. dominance in science, tech, engineering, and math, with China producing twice as many graduates in these key areas as we do.
If we think we're going to be the world's leading innovator in technology, in life sciences, graduating a quarter of the talent that they graduate in China, we're just kidding ourselves. And so we can't rest on our laurels. We have to really think about how are we going to encourage our parents and our youth to acquire the skills required to compete in a technology-driven world over the next 100 years.
As to what's coming in the next year, Griffin says continued inflation will bring higher interest rates, somewhat lower stock prices, and this cautionary thought.
So right now, we're in a pretty precarious position as an economy because we have an all-in bet that we're going to see inflation dissipate. And the longer it stays here at these elevated levels, and Omicron's a big problem because Omicron's going to continue to put pressure on supply chains. That's going to continue to put pressure on inflation. We're going to see the Fed get further and further behind the curve on its monetary policy, which is going to continue to fuel a bubble in the stock market, but will make the day of reckoning all the more painful.
Words of wisdom on a wide range of important topics, well received by his audience.
I agree with a lot of his feelings on how to move this world forward. I think education is the key to going forward, and anybody out there, wherever you are in the world, you can assist in part of that lift. So I love that message.
He really believes in people and the children and how they need to be educated and, to keep this country going. We don't want to lose a generation, like he said. We want people to able to run the country.
He hires the best people he can, and he promotes the best people he has. People, the only time people leave is when they are going to be successful themselves, and he doesn't mind that. And so many people have worked with him and then gone to be very successful on their own.
As always, we thank you for watching, and make sure you look in your email inbox this Sunday morning for another newscast, this time featuring stories about the wonderful people and events that go on Palm Beach Island. And we will see you next time on Palm Beach TV, brought to you by the Palm Beach Civic Association and our viewers.
Palm Beach TV is a production of the Palm Beach Civic Association. We thank our sponsor, the Fortin Foundation of Florida, and encourage you, our viewers, to let us know how we can provide news coverage that best serves our members and residents.